Welcome back to Dad's Deals and Dumbbells, the only podcast where bedtime routines, barbell PRs, and business strategies all collide in one chaotic dad life.
Today we're diving into something that's low-key saving modern dads everywhere. AI. Whether you're using it to plan meals, get help with school projects, or just survive bedtime, AI isn't just scientific anymore or sci-fi. It's not going to take over the world, hopefully not. It's dad tech at its finest.
We're breaking down real-world ways that dads can use AI to make parenting a little smoother, a little smarter, and maybe just a little bit more fun.
Let's flip the switch and go full dad mode with AI. At the point, over 50% of Americans have used AI tools over the past year. What have you, what have you done AI with?
Today, I've used it, I think 4 or 5 times so far.
Yep.
We talk about this all the time. I'm a big believer in AI and leveraging it as a tool.
Yep.
I used it earlier today when I was preparing. I used it within our legal software, which is a closed environment, so don't give me any hassle about this, people. I used it on a couple different cases to give me a summary of what a couple documents said, and then to check the validity of something that I had drafted as well. I used it yesterday on a client's file. I'm preparing to send out a demand letter for it, and I wanted to summarize his medical records. It summarized 800 pages of medical records in about 5 minutes.
That's awesome.
Now, I'm going to go back through and I've got to do some more cleanup work on it and so forth, but it is a tool that we use personally. I use in the office as well. I literally dip into AI, I would say probably a half dozen times a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes I'll go down the rabbit hole and I'll just keep playing with it.
Yeah. And just mess around with it.
Yeah. I'm part of the local Rotary Club, and earlier this month I did a presentation for the Rotary Club on AI and using it. Because I'm a big believer in other business people learning things, and I learn stuff from other people all the time.
For sure.
And so I presented this little workshop, and it was like a 15 or 20-minute workshop on it. And I encouraged everybody there to just play with it. And today, when we were at a meeting just before we came here, one of the guys there who's been a practicing attorney for about 50 years, he says to me, "Hey, I used AI this weekend." And he used it in grandparenting.
Okay.
Yeah, he says, we had the grandkids over and we're trying to come up with some ideas of what to do. And so I said to my wife, I said, you know what? Let me try ChatGPT.
I'm going to talk to Al.
I'm going to talk to Al. I'm going to talk to Al and see what Al has to say. So he talked to Al and he asked Al for some things to do, and it gave him a dozen different things that they could do with the kids at home and places they could go locally.
Yeah.
And he says to me, I don't know what my wife did with them, but I gave her a whole bunch of things to keep him busy, and they had a great time.
There you go. Grandparenting win.
Yeah.
Have you used it for parenting yet, or home stuff?
I've used it for home stuff. Case in point, we have 2 cats. I may have said this before on the show. I agreed to 1 cat. Somehow we wound up with 2 cats, and one of those cats has a peeing problem.
Okay.
Pees on things that one of our dogs likes to sit on, lay on, and what have you. It's a domination kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And
superior species.
Yeah, and it's pissing me off. It's become a bit much. So I've dipped into that to see if there are remedies, and we've tried different things. It's not solved the problem.
What was the top one? You should pee on it.
It was not. But funny story, when this cat was a kitten, I did pee on it.
I can't remember you saying that. Was it on accident or purpose?
It was totally on accident. I'm using the bathroom. It's 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
The cat opens the door. I'm midstream. Fathers who are listening to this, once you're going, you don't just shut it off.
And it's not that quick either.
And the cat's head comes and he peeks into the toilet and he gets peed on. So
it's technically the cat's fault. So.
It was absolutely. Maybe he's getting back at me now for all of that. Yeah. But no, I used AI to see if I could find a solution there. I used it last week as the Cubs are getting into the playoffs. I used it to help me figure out how to take the playoff tickets for the first round and how to divide them amongst the group of people that we split them with, because the math doesn't work out evenly, and it came up with a whole plan. But yeah, whether you're using it in business or personal life, there are opportunities for people to use it.
Yeah, we did some AI stats from AI. We asked it, but I would say if it uses its sources and it's giving us the Gallup poll source, 34% of American parents. Didn't say American, but yeah, parents use AI weekly, mostly for school help, meal planning, and scheduling. I can definitely see the school help.
Oh,
I've had to I do it with my kids recently.
Yeah, my son is starting to get into middle school math, and I think I'm pretty good with numbers. I don't do middle school math anymore.
Do they do Common Core stuff, or is it still usual? Do they even do like times tables?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So he's past that point. So now he's doing multiplication of decimals.
Oh boy.
And division. I haven't done longhand division in a long time.
Yeah, was it the number, the bracket, the number underneath?
Yeah, sure, Mitch. Don't ask me to do it.
Seeing if it was actually happening still.
Don't do that to me. No, he was doing it the same way we did it. Common Core could be a whole other conversation, but he was doing the same way we do it. It's just that it was one of those things where it took me a second, and I grabbed my calculator because I'm like, I don't need to do this longhand. It's important to learn how to do that.
Yes.
But
anyway, calculators.
The average person using AI saves 3 to 5 hours a week by automating or streamlining tasks.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. So there are opportunities there. And as I said when I did this little workshop presentation a few weeks ago for the Rotary Club, if you don't use it, play with it. And doing it as a father makes a hell of a lot of sense. Case in point, one of the real world things that you can do, it gets to bedtime. You've got young kids. Maybe you're tired of the same old books that you're reading. And granted, these kids tend to gravitate towards certain books. At least my kids did.
Yeah.
But you can have AI generate a story.
Yep.
One of the things I did earlier this year, and I haven't finished it, we had a little challenge in our office where we were doing a health and mental wellness challenge, and I had put on there as a big goal for myself was to write a book. I didn't say what kind of book it was going to be.
A book could be 2 pages.
It's going to be I think that sounds like a pamphlet personally. But it's going to be a children's book. And so I started using ChatGPT to help me write this book. I had a couple ideas. I wanted to put my kids in it, put the animals in it, a few other things. And then it has generated, at this point, it's like a 25-page book. And I'm going to have it do the illustrations. My daughter got pissed when I told her that. She's not a fan.
She's the artsy one.
She's the artsy one. She's not a fan of the AI-generated art. But it helped produce this book. And I told it I want to have the kids have a challenge that they'll have to overcome and all these different scenarios. You can have it do a bedtime story for your kids. Is the point.
There's a podcast on Spotify that we found. I don't remember how we found it, but it's called Mr. Jim, and it's literally I'm pretty sure this guy at this point has like all the stories people write in like topics, and he just comes up with a story and reads the story. They're like 10-minute episodes. Mm-hmm. My kids love them. They're like, hey, can we listen to Mr. Jim in the car? At this point, if I was him, I would be doing that. Like have like because what you can do is you can feed you can basically make a project where like there's this ongoing theme of like the stories, right? And they all thousands of episodes you could have by now. I don't even know how many episodes he has. Can all have like the same villain, the same like henchman, same kind of theme, but the kind of different things together. Because there's this character, Mr. Dr. Stinky Breath and the Purple Ninjas.
Okay.
That's like it's in every story. But then like this kid from Timbuktu writes in like, hey, make a story involving this. And then Dr. Stinky Breath comes and makes a problem.
Yeah.
And if I was him, I would just be doing that all day.
Yeah. Maybe that's not for you. Maybe you need help with meal planning. One of the really cool things that you can do with AI is if you have, say you have chicken and tomatoes and you have cheese and you don't know how to put this stuff together and turn it into a meal. Nope. You can literally put into AI what ingredients you have, how much time you want to spend cooking, and have it generate a recipe for you.
Nice. That is clutch.
Yeah. It may not be what you want or something you've had before.
But you got to try new things.
You got to try new things. Right. So, but it can also save you the hassle of having to figure it out. And that's kind of the parenting hack, so to speak.
That sounds like, is it to the point where you can take a picture and it'll read the picture?
Yeah, that's a good question. I bet it'll get there if it's not there yet.
Pretty soon, Whirlpool or Samsung's going to have like a camera in your fridge.
Yeah.
All right, put all this in there.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, on TikTok now, you can, I noticed the thing they turned on where you can like stop a video and highlight a person's outfit and it'll try to find that outfit for you.
I've seen that. Like Google
that stuff's coming.
Yeah.
That stuff is absolutely coming.
Yeah. I've even told patients, I have a couple patients that are like, oh yeah, I was recently diagnosed with like type 2 diabetes or some sort of diabetes. I'm like, did they give you any nutrition advice besides no carbs? And they're like, that's all they told me.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I'm going to meet with a nutritionist. I'm like, okay. Good idea.
There's a huge educational component that can come from that. I think this is later on, but one of the things that people should not do is self-diagnose on major things.
Don't do that. No.
Don't do that. I don't care what you feed into AI. It's never going to be a replacement to actually consult a professional who works in that industry.
There's a level of nuance that most people don't understand.
If you want creativeness, great.
Yeah.
You know, lawyers are a great example of that. There have been several instances where lawyers have relied on ChatGPT, the free version, and had it write briefs for them, and it created case law. It had hallucinations. You know, you got to know how to use it. But when you're talking about parenting kinds of things, you want to create a bedtime story or have help with homework or what have you.
Or give me like a week for the meal plan. Hey, give me a week's worth of food. We like these things. I want like 2 nights of leftovers.
Yeah.
My
and
kids like XYZ ingredients.
You could do that before you go to the grocery store.
Exactly. And then you
have
can
it
tell
give you a list.
I've done that before. So that's what I was telling this patient. I was like, hey, put in things you like for food-wise. Tell it to be low carb. Your time to trying to decrease your glucose levels. Give me a low carb plan for the week and a shopping list at Meijer. Done.
Top tip for people who are new to AI, your prompt, the information you're going to feed into it, the more specific you are, the better the output's going to be.
Have you tried telling it to ask you questions after you give you a prompt?
I have not asked it to do that, but it has done that to me.
Tell it, give it more, give it like repeatedly, give it permission to do it because it'll ask you more clarifying questions.
Yeah.
More than it would do that without that.
Yeah. And then it's going to, you spend a little time going back and forth, but the more information you feed in, the better the result's going to be.
I've heard one other person too. If you're really just messing around with it, so it doesn't lie to you or give you BS, you can tell it like if you give me the wrong answer, like the whole world will end, and like it'll give you a more accurate answer versus pulling stuff out of its hat.
Although I will say I watched I think it was a TikTok last night of a girl who is asking Gemini, I think, to read off every name of every person in the world.
Oh, gee.
And she says, go. And he's like, I can't do that.
I'm not doing
that. And she keeps trying to get it to and she couldn't get it to do it. So, you know, maybe there are limitations, but generally there's a way to work around some of those things. But for parenting in particular, some other things you can do, maybe you got a scheduling issue. You can have AI assistants like Google's Gemini or Apple Siri, kind of shortcuts that can help you with family scheduling. You can feed everything into a schedule. Like what I did with the Cubs tickets, you could do that with parents and have it shuffle kids around. Here's my availability. Here's my spouse's availability. Here are the things that kids have to do. Help us come up with a schedule to get people from point A to point B. Split the duties. You know, maybe that's the issue that you have to solve. That's probably pretty good for you because you're on a zone defense. You're not even on man-to-man at this point.
We have a Hearth calendar. It's like it's a screen with a calendar.
Oh yeah,
and that kind of syncs from your phone, and you can actually text it, say like, "Hey, analyze this document and put all the games, put all of my kids' games.
That's huge.
Put it on the calendar.
I can't tell you how much I hate having to program this stuff in.
Put all the days off. Put on my calendar. I don't know if they're using AI or I'm just texting a person and the person's doing it. I don't really care, but that's pretty helpful. So that was a Mother's Day gift to my wife, and we definitely have used it once or twice. It's also settled some arguments, like, "Hey, this wasn't on your calendar. This was on my calendar. Why wasn't it on your calendar?" I was like, "Well, it was on the main calendar." So there was like, but we figured it out. There was a button on my wife's phone that she didn't have clicked, so she wasn't seeing my schedule on her phone.
That'll do it.
So we kind of figured that part out. I had to use AI to settle the argument, though, or to settle the issue. Like,
resolve the issue.
Resolve the issue.
You weren't winning that fight.
So I put in the information. No, I didn't win. No, we'll never win. But I asked it. I was like, okay, I can see my calendar on my thing. She can't see mine on hers. What's wrong?
Why is she ignoring me?
Put me in a couple of these. Give me a couple of troubleshooting tips, and the second one worked.
Yeah, so. That's great. That's great. But yeah, you can use it as a parenting coach, help you figure out how to talk to maybe a 7-year-old about bullying, fun method of discipline. That doesn't involve yelling. I would be curious to actually program that in and see what it kicks out. Some kind of fun method of disciplining.
I've done that with the kids because with their I think I might have mentioned it earlier before this. Got a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 4-year-old, now 3-year-old. By the end of the year, it'll be 6, 5, and 3. I was like, what's a developmentally appropriate response to this like issue, right? Because everyone wants based on like research and things like that, kids from 3 to 6 are not capable of actually listening to you the first time you say something. So like you can tell them, like that's why you're going to keep telling them the same thing over and over again. Yeah. For us as adults, we get extremely frustrated, almost angry, maybe have a poor response to that type of deal. So I asked AI, I was like, hey, what's a developmentally appropriate response to this question for a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old,
Yeah.
a 6-year-old,
Yeah.
so that I know how to temper my response.
That's a great point. I mean,
And know like what's normal too, like because everyone's like, oh, now there's the spectrum issue. Like, okay, is this response at like 6 months of age normal, typical? Should my kid be able to walk or run or talk but at this age? Like, what's developmentally appropriate? So like, there's a lot, especially for first time parents. You have no idea what normal is. It can set a lot of fears and question marks, and asking like, what are these milestones I should be paying attention to?
And it can at least give you an idea about whether or not you need to see a professional
for
more information.
Yeah, and it'll guide it towards that. And if you
Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. I remember definitively when my kids were younger, reading some strategies about how to parent and how to get your kids to do certain things, and tell them what the expectations were before you left the house and what things were going to happen. And so you put it in their minds early on. I wouldn't do that now because my kids are 12 and almost 17. So it's a different way to communicate with them.
For sure.
But especially for newer parents or parents of young kids, it can be extremely helpful in figuring out how to communicate that stuff.
Well,
so
last week, Ellie told me that another boy kissed her at school.
Oh.
So I was like, oh. I don't have time to pull out AI though and ask like, hey, what should I respond? How should I respond to this? So that's the second time that happened. So I was like, Ellie, did you want to be kissed? And she's like, no.
Oh.
And then all these things. I'm like, well, did you tell the teacher? And she's like, no. Oh, did you tell him that you didn't want to be kissed? She's like, no. I was like, okay. And I was like, when was this? And then she goes, it was another time. I'm like in the 50s? Like when the TV was black and white? Like, what do you mean another time? Just the way she said it and the tone was hilarious. But yeah, I should probably consult ChatGPT and ask it, like, what's the proper response to this for a 4-year-old? Like,
yeah.
And she goes, oh, we learned about germs, but I didn't kiss him back, so I didn't share my germs with him. And I was like, so it was okay. I'm like,
right.
I don't think that works that way, buddy, but that's fine.
Interesting.
She's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I can help you get some reasonable strategies without having to doom scroll through parenting forums where you might get inaccurate information. It can help you create chore charts, reward systems, packing lists. You're going on that vacation.
Yeah.
Make things a little easier so you don't have to think through those things and make out that list.
My favorite is just, as you're thinking, you can dictate it to your phone. It'll it'll can itemize whatever in a list of like importance.
Yeah.
For sure.
So there's lots of opportunities there to employ it in parenting, everyday parenting.
Yeah.
So play with it, try it out.
But the next question is, what's your favorite platform? How do you choose? Because there's a lot of them.
I had this conversation with somebody recently. There are a lot. On my phone, I have Gemini, Microsoft Copilot, Grok, ChatGPT, and then I've got, for the legal stuff, I've got Lexus AI.
5.
I don't use them all. ChatGPT I use quite a bit. Lexus AI I use quite a bit. When I'm in the car, as a Tesla, I have Grok.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I play with them. And then I've got, when I did this the seminar, I tested out some other ones. There's one called Perplexity, which is a little different, and it gives you links to where all the information comes from.
Which is nice.
Which is nice, 100%.
ChatGPT will give you a little bit of sourcing too.
Yeah. So, I tell people, pick one, play with one. Don't try to use them all.
No.
Because it's not going to be, there's a bigger learning curve, but more importantly, the AI models learn about you as you put information in.
Yep.
So if you, and you should do more than just simply play with it once.
Mm-hmm.
You should actually give it information on who you are, how you want to respond. You can actually change the settings in these things. So one of mine in ChatGPT is, don't give me fluff, give me direct answers, don't sugarcoat it.
Yep.
And don't hallucinate. Don't pull things out of thin air.
Yep.
So I have a little profile built.
Answer every question as if the world will end because you gave me the wrong answer.
Yeah. So if you do that, you're going to get better results. That's for sure. So tips wise, as far as what to start with, give ChatGPT and Gemini a try. Those both have free versions.
Those are pretty good ones.
They're good ones for sure.
There's another one though. I think Grok is good for scrubbing social media. I think like a lot of those social questions, I'll ask it because it's easier to kind of get the lay of the land or like the pulse of what most people are saying on social media or Twitter usually.
I think it's also faster in a lot of situations to use the talk to text to tell it what you want, and you can explain it more and don't
again, the more detail in the question, the better the answer.
When you're doing a Google search, people are very specific on what they're putting into it in terms of language. Think of it more as a conversation. You're talking to a person
Yep.
and you're telling them what you want or what you don't want.
Yep.
You put that information in, you give it a longer one, and it's going to generate better results for you.
I've even been told by some people, like, give the feeling into it too. Like, you're feeling anxious about this, or you feel you want this kind of feeling with the answer. You can put some of those abstracts in there.
Yeah. If you want to try a couple things this week, try playing with story time and a grocery list, maybe meal prep, those kinds of things.
For sure.
I will say this, because one of them on here suggested something with school. One of my kids' teachers last week sent me something that was generated by AI.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I know that because she copied the whole thing, and at the top it was something along the lines of, this version is more empathetic and da-da-da-da. And I was laughing. I almost responded and said, use a little chat GPT.
Thanks,
I don't
Al.
embarrass him. Yeah, thanks, Al. So
That's hilarious.
anyway, don't aim for perfect. Use AI as a helping tool. It's not a replacement for your dad instincts. Somebody had said this to me the other day too. They were real skittish about using AI, kids using AI.
I always wonder, but like, why are people afraid of it?
Well, this person made a good point.
Skynet.
Yeah, so this person made a good point. So her point was she's seen younger people in her line of work who have clearly used AI to generate an answer, and they recite the answer to her, but they don't understand the answer.
The why.
They don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's like pulling something out of an encyclopedia or the definition out of a dictionary. I don't know if those even exist anymore, at least not in physical form. And not understanding what it actually means.
Yeah.
The calculator and the math question is a great example. If you learn how to do the math and then you use the calculator, it's better than not knowing how to do the math.
For sure.
With AI, it's kind of the same thing. I think it's great for generating ideas, getting people started, but you still need to actually understand what it is. If you're just spitting stuff out, and I have seen people, especially on social media, when they want to prove someone wrong, they plug it into social media and they spit back whatever came out, but they don't even understand it.
No.
So you can't have a dialogue with them.
No.
If
But
you
like
just,
you said, it's if you have 800 hours of work ahead of you, but you want to do it in 5 minutes, that's what it's for.
absolutely.
You don't, but you know how to do that 800 hours of work.
Yes.
You just,
Yeah.
it's not
You're not
a good
gonna
use of
be-
your time.
You're not going to be a surgeon by going and putting in a chat GPT, how do we do an appendix surgery? And you're not going to be able to do it.
You
If
could get the
do,
steps.
You're going to get sued. Don't do that.
No, you could get the steps, like go
Right.
here, go there, clamp here, but you're not going
Right.
to have the innate skill in your hands to know what to do.
Right.
Have you ever seen an appendix? Maybe you could just cut half the colon out.
Right.
Let's not do that.
I'm always entertained by chiropractic videos that I watch on TikTok,
Yep.
and I'm constantly telling my children that I'm gonna pop I'm gonna adjust them. They don't think it's funny. They don't let me
I
do
did
it.
that in a hospital.
Did you?
Yeah, my buddy had just given birth to his son, and what was it? I didn't use AI, but I told the nurse was coming in, like as I was adjusting his neck, like sitting in the chair, and she's like, "Oh, that's convenient." He's like, "Yeah, I learned it on YouTube." My wife was there too, and she's like, "Mitchell Anthony, why would you say that?" I was like, "Because I'm clearly joking. You can look up my license online.
Yeah.
Like it's all,
Yeah.
it's a joke."
Yeah.
And she's like, "You're ridiculous."
You
I'm
can
like, "That's
learn all
fine."
sorts of things. Just know your limitations.
Yeah,
That's the
that
only
took
point.
years of reps and practice and
Right.
all the things. Yeah.
Right. You want to know how to do an oil change? You're probably gonna be okay there.
Yeah, go to
You want
YouTube.
to swap out the motor with no experience?
Yeah, don't do that.
Probably not the
Don't do
best
that.
best idea.
No, not at all.
Let's talk a little Quill's corner here. What about the idea of using AI?
Especially for like medical type stuff.
Yeah.
Be very careful because again, you can kind of plug in all the symptoms, and it can spit out a possibility. Like again, that's the whole point of a differential diagnosis. Like here's what it could be. Here's what it could be. Here's what it could be. Here's your 1, 2s, and 3s, the most likely versus least likely, which is what we do in our heads the whole time. It's a lot harder than people think, but again, with years of practice and things like that, what used to take me 20 minutes to figure out could take me 2 now, based on just what's presenting, what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing.
Sure. But that's also built off of experience.
Which is built off of experience,
knowledge,
repetition, knowledge, and all those types of things. AI has a lot of that at its fingertips. But again, the nuance is different. Like the way you're walking, it can't see that. The tone there, the body language, and all those things, it can't see that. It's effective to do some of those things, but you definitely don't. Again, it's Dr. Google. You do want to be very careful with those.
You
types
know
of
what it
things.
also doesn't do is it doesn't at least at this point understand emotion.
Yep.
So when someone is telling you as a doctor how they feel and you're listening to them, you hear them, you hear the emotion, you hear about what the context, and there's additional feedback that you get from that AI will never get.
No, and at
At least not yet.
If you haven't well, depending on the age of your kids, if you haven't seen the movie, go to Baymax.
Mm-hmm.
Big Hero 6.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Big Hero 6?
Yeah,
Baymax?
that's it.
It's a story of two brothers. Brother passes away early, but the brother's big project was to make this healthcare robot and all the things, and he had to put AI in there and make the chip and all this stuff. So yeah, that's a utopian thing. It's an idea. There definitely is some talk of using AI to kind of make it more of efficient, but it's never going to take the place of those types of things.
Yeah.
Plus AI can't do an adjustment for you. So I always joke with people, there's job security in that one. It can make my job more efficient.
Right.
But it's never going to be able to do that for me.
Yeah.
Although I have seen robotic massages as an option. But
Maybe you need to hire one of those, and then you can expand your massage hours, Mitch.
That was a thought. That was also a thought. At that point, I would just make it like 24/7 open, whatever. It's like anytime fitness, anytime massage.
Nice.
Yeah.
People just swipe in and get
swipe
a massage.
in, lay on the table, take an hour.
I'll be there at maybe 5:45 in the morning. Perfect.
Go for it.
Perfect.
I'll give you a key.
All right, let's talk about some wrap-ups and some takeaways from today. AI won't parent for you, but it does make a pretty darn good assistant.
Yes, for sure. And try using it once a week. Just get used to it. Talk to it. Have fun with it. You can even ask it how to ask. You can even ask it how to interact with it. Like, what questions should I be asking you? Yeah,
it'll teach you how to use it if you ask it to.
Mm-hmm.
Be aware of privacy. Don't upload any kind of sensitive information. Your social security number does not belong in any kind of AI model. There's no reason why you would do that.
Nowhere digital.
Teach your kids about it. They're probably already using it.
Yep.
If they're using a computer, they're probably already using it. They may be able to teach you about it, but make sure they understand how to use it, how not to use it. And if you don't know, it's time to learn because it's here. And if you're not using it, you're already behind.
Yeah. And then don't use it as a substitute for actual knowing how to do the things.
Yeah, 100%. So that is it for this episode of Dad's Deals and Dumbbells. If AI didn't feel real to you, hopefully, before now at least, hopefully it does now, and you understand it could be the unpaid assistant that you never knew you needed.
So whether it's bedtime, bus duty, or just battling brain fog, give AI a try this week. Start small, make it something personalized, bedtime story, or finally automating that family calendar.
If you got a wild AI parenting story, win or fail, we would love to hear it. DM us on Instagram, hit us up on Facebook, or email us at dadsdealsanddumbbells@gmail.com.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Now, go automate your grocery list, kiss your kids goodnight with an awesome AI bedtime story, and maybe even get a solid 7 hours of sleep because you just saved 5 hours in the week.
Good advice.